Hello fellow anime enjoyers, it's been a while but I'm back with another anime bingo, because rent is getting expensive. Jokes aside, I asked you guys in my community tab for the trashiest and most generic fantasy animes you've seen. Spin the spinny wheel to decide which one, and watch the anime until I marked an entire row, column or diagonal. If we manage to make a fast bingo with the first anime, I might do another one in the same video. Now let's get into it. All the spaces are very easy to understand, and you can also always check my isekai bingo, which has very similar ones. Here we have the absurd amount of trashy fantasy animes you're trying to torture me with. Let's spin it and summon to another world for a second time. Can't wait to watch this peak fiction. This was Franco Bronco and Kakas Thalsi's request. For my first move, I decided to check for spaces I can mark before watching the anime, such as long title and crowded cover. It took me a click to see one of the My Anime List covers for the anime, which is 90% constituted of hot girls around the main character. After that, I entered a dilemma when I decided to check the title to see if it's long. And this is where a big problem appeared. I'm completely desensitized with trashy isekais. At this point, I'm so used to watching animes with titles longer than a synopsis that I didn't know whether I should consider this a long title or not. Compared to the average fantasy anime, this isn't that long, but compared to any other normal anime, series or movie, this is already too big. I kept being stuck in this part for a while until I remembered I set an objective amount of words for it to count, back in my isekai bingo. And I kid you not, this anime had exactly the right minimum amount to get me another space mark. Let's go. Now it was time to actually start the anime. As soon as we start, we're greeted by our main characters, our dear Kirito clone, but with an emo haircut, which, in case you weren't convinced, later during the first episode also goes away, leaving it with zero interesting design choices, unless you count this color, which doesn't change much. He's talking to his childhood friend, and then out of nowhere the entire classroom gets transported to another world. Even in the fantasy bingo we end up with an isekai, which is good for me in this case. Unfortunately, they spawn in the middle of a battle, where we find out our protagonist Setsu is just one of the most OP things in the world. Yeah, that's an OP main character. Easy, another one. We also got to experience some beautiful action sequences that make Uzumaki look like Demon Slayer. This is where I made a terrible mistake. Remember I said I was a bit desensitized to isekai and fantasy crap? Well, I took the amazing decision to give the anime another chance and not mark PowerPoint animation yet, which, trust me, will become a big problem later on. Anyways, back to the plot. They run to the castle and meet the rulers of the kingdom that ask them for help in the war that was stopped 5 years ago when the main hero was reincarnated for the first time. After a bit, all his old companions recognize him after telling them about his new body, which was confusing them, and that means when he was sent back to his world after the first summoning, he was reincarnated. If I remember correctly, that's another space in our bingo card. What the heck? I was ecstatic. This was crazy. We were one space away from a bingo halfway through episode 1, and the space left was fan service. It was a given win at this point, right? Cause every crappy fantasy anime has fan service. Right? If we pay attention, we can also see that the rules mentioned him being the only hero that was summoned the first time, which was Destiny's Choice. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, cause it's the Chosen One plot all over again. You could argue that every isekai is like that, but in many isekais the main character isn't this kind of heroic figure that appears because Destiny wanted him to save the world. So he sets himself once more in a journey to stop war. Why is he leaving the girls behind? I need the fan service. Last but not least, before we get into the next episode, I want to express my deep dislike of this anime with a 5 out of 10 or less. This episode starts with a flashback of a little girl, Ruri, and her grandpa, a merchant that sells things, cause that's what he does. In the flashback, we see him selling a ring to the main hero when he was in that world for the first time. That connects to the present time, when the girl and the hero cross paths once more. I love the game sound. He agrees to help her, cause they're both going to the same place anyways, the demonic continent. A bunch of non-interesting stuff happens during most of the episode. He helps her get rid of some bullies which pursue them, forcing the girl and Setsu to get a ride from a freaking sea monster out of nowhere. Get used to it, because there are never any big stakes and Setsu is able to solve anything and everything within the blink of an eye. I hope this thing turns into a girl. And so ends episode 2, without any interesting developments or significant. Pá, eu não sei falar, opa, olha, apaga. Without any interesting developments or important wins for our bingo card. How do we get 6 spaces in a single episode and then none in the one right after? Fortunately, we got back as soon as episode 3 started, even before the 1 minute mark. We got the anime to girl space, cause the big powerful sea monster they were using as a boat actually turns into a female human. Fast forward 2 minutes and we find out the person both Ruri and Setsu were hoping to meet is the same, the Demon Lord, Desastre Sereno. Oh, wait, why does she have a Portuguese name? That literally means serene disaster. Well, I guess Japanese authors like giving random European names, like Frieren, which has 90% of the German vocabulary as names for their characters. We're getting sidetracked. Demon Lord, that's another space. Bam. Squid Game. What are those sound effects? This is so weird. In terms of story, this episode we learned that the hot demon lord woman is being tricked into marrying the goofiest Elon Musker I've ever seen, cause he's promising to end the war with his 10,000 bags of $19 Fortnite cards if she becomes his personal babe, basically. Tell me if I'm not using enough Gen Alpha slang to keep you away from the secret Subway Surfers corner I've been playing for the past few minutes. And then it ends with them running towards the castle. Maybe when he goes to the castle, the Demon Lord girl will have some fan service. That's the only thing I can hope for, please. To cope a little bit more, I decided to start this episode with a little boost. You know how there are 1,000 girls in the opening, all surrounding Setsu, and how we're getting almost a new one every single episode, and how the anime literally has the harem tag? Well, yeah, sorry, but not sorry. Episode 4 starts with another flashback showing us how the Demon Lord was defeated by the hero 5 years before, how happy and peaceful their lives were, until the new war broke and the goofy rich guy tried making her his slave. Wait. Okay, let's continue. Also, I kinda missed something. I swear to god, I need to stop making some spaces so subjective, cause after a quick research, I found out I can cross another one just like that, for free. I'm only counting it because she's one of the main characters for now, and she's literally a kid. Now we're in a tough spot. The only spaces left for a bingo are either fan service or PowerPoint animation. How in the world did I get so unlucky to land in an isekai without fan service? I could technically consider this anime to have bad animation, but it would feel like cheating to just decide that when it's the only thing left between torture and freedom. Never have I regretted a decision so much in any other bingo video. Back to the plot. Setsu and Livia invade the marriage right in the exact crucial moment, and then a bunch of scenes of the hero protecting his harem. I can't take it any longer, this is a self-insert for edgy teenagers like every fantasy anime nowadays. I'm marking it. And for everyone telling me I shouldn't go into it expecting something good, if I was expecting anything good, I would have dropped the anime immediately after reading the title. In the end, they decided to go somewhere else to get help from another powerful dude. And I won't bother remembering the names, cause as soon as I hit stop recording, I'll clean all the memory this anime is storing in my brain. At this point, I was having a blast imagining my warm bed while recording, so I decided to take action. If I can't go back and mark PowerPoint animation, I'll change my approach. So, as a grown-up influencer, I ran away from my responsibilities by calling my friend that studies animation to watch this episode with me and help me deciding my fate. You may know her cause she appeared in all my bingo videos until now, and she's the admin in my Discord server, Winter's Echo. Her channel will be linked in the description, so go check it out. After quickly explaining everything, we started watching.
I mean, it's not too bad. I don't know, like, it seems worse than average, but one of his eyes is like way higher than the other one. I feel like I can't really say anything because they keep making weird things with proportions, but it's just like, small things. Here, like, look, they even, like, put the arms moving. But there are, like, so many scenes of just the character standing completely still and the mouth moving. And so many of the movements are so weird. Like, why is she lifting her staff when she breathes? And what the heck?
That counts as PowerPoint animation, doesn't it?
Yes, it's PowerPoint and, like, bad animation. It's like the kind of thing that people complained about in Uzumaki.
Let's go! We finished the bingo in 5 episodes. Final review, I don't like the anime. Bye. You know what this means though. We have time for another anime. No need for introductions, let's spin our wheel again. Whoa. My unique skill makes me OP even at level 1. The title tells me this is gonna be legendary. If you're enjoying the video, consider joining our membership plans, where you can get early access to videos, exclusive Discord chat rooms, exclusive React requests, and much more. Thanks Rakush, Cheesy Fries, Pegomastrax, Noan Sumi, and Odd Curtis for being part of this family and keeping my wallet full. Also, join our Discord to be part of this epic community. Time to check for the usual things before starting episode 1. Now let's get into it. They take no time to let us know we're watching an isekai. At this point, why not just make it a straight out fantasy anime? There would be almost no difference. Now this is a weird way of spawning the protagonist in the other world, by being an item drop. Japan, you never fail to surprise me. And what better than it being the one and only black-haired, bland-ass Kirito clone that we so much love. What if we do this row finally? Like, it's such an easy row. And get ready for a lightning round. HP bars, levels, drops, game mechanics. Obviously, protagonist born in another world, isekai. And for now, let's go back to the boring recap. Bruh, at the entrance of every dungeon, they have a scanner that reads your levels, your stats, and your drop rates. That's basically a video game at this point. Needless to say, besides being a level 1, he has S tier drop rates, cause if it was totally useless, no one would bother putting themselves in the protagonist's shoes. I should also mention now he has a friend, Emily, a 16-year-old girl that looks way too short for her age. And I could have marked an extra space for that, but I think I got confused when searching for the definition once more, and I swear to God, this is your fault. This is the kind of brain rot that takes away my brain cells. Don't be surprised if my next video is a tier list of all the Skibidi Toilet episodes or something. Well, it would definitely be less boring than watching this. Also, I didn't want to touch this subject already, but everything in this world is obtained through monster drops. And every type of monster has a different drop. How many different types are there? Like, we mostly only see them dropping food and some magical items here. How did they build houses and furniture? With dirt and stones? Anyways, let's not nitpick, cause I'm sure someone will correct me and refute me in the comments or something. By the end of the episode, they already have a full house, and so I knew I couldn't expect anything except smooth sailing throughout the entire series, without any setbacks or difficulties. But before it ended, of course we had to experience some godly CGI skeletons in a new dungeon called Nihonium, that only drops things for the protagonist and no one else. Huh, I'm sure it has nothing to do with him, it's just a coincidence. Pilush. That sounds so weird in Portuguese, cause like, that's so similar to another word in Portuguese. As most isekais also have, this one brings us another tragic backstory, with Sato being overworked, underpaid, and living a miserable work life before dying of exhaustion and being isekai'd. Last but not least, before advancing to episode 2, with the arrival of this bunny girl, and after careful deliberation and research, I declare the decision of also crossing the harem space. Just finished the episode, and this is definitely less than a 5 out of 10. It's just such a nothing. It's not even a burger, it's just nothing. And it's looking bright for us. Our card is being filled at an extraordinarily rapid pace. And this episode starts with some cheating. This time not from me, but from the anime itself. Wait. Do they call this a reincarnation, even though he's already grown up? That's completely unreasonable. Yet I'll still use it as a completely fair excuse to mark another space in our bingo. Let's go, we only need fan service once more. Oh, and here we have our thumbnail. A wild bunny girl appears looking for Sato's carrots. The entire episode is mostly focused on that. I'd say it even gets a bit annoying, cause she follows Sato everywhere and is just always asking for more carrots. Other than that, nothing important really happens. They just wander the dungeons, kill some small fish and visit some stores. We do get a bit more action by the end, when a giant monkey appears out of nowhere. Apparently in this world, anything left in a place without humans can turn into a stray. So it seems like this will be quite a big threat and a difficult... Oh, okay, never mind. Ooh, it dropped something. Maybe it turned into a girl, please? Bruh. Really? A cliffhanger? Compared to the first episode, this one wasn't as good, but at this rate, the next one is the last. Time to reveal last episode's cliffhanger. Oh, bruh. Really, I thought it was gonna be a girl, but it was just a gun with some bullets. This was the turning point. Everything changed. It marks the point where he stopped being just an OP protagonist. Now he's an OP protagonist with a gun. While the cliffhanger didn't pay off, at least we managed to get some edgy scenes in a dungeon a bit later. I also finally realized the big difference in their heights, and you know what? Screw it. The rest of the episode was kinda lame, and the only important events were Sato finding a way to get special bullets that freeze people and testing them while helping a random girl and a rich douchebag that dropped some stuff down a mountain. Okay, I get it. The anime is a silly, goofy, generic isekai. Can you please give me a bingo? I only need fan service or slavery, just like last time. How in the world do I get 2 trashy fantasy animes without fan service in a row? We got absolutely nothing the entire episode. The highlight was this new character, a princess, that now is using Nihonium to sell air. Literal boxes of air. That's like selling bathwater, but even more worthless. However, this was only the beginning of the real torture. Nothing. 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 Okay, let's do a quick recap of those last few episodes. Sato just helped a few people, got some new fire and healing bullets, got another gun, so now he can shoot twice as much. He was also requested to help participating in a sort of competition against another city for a fresh new dungeon that had appeared. He finds another girl there, helps her as always, and now she's part of Sato's harem, party. I was so tired at this point. No bingo had ever been this agonizing to record. At least they were funny or like hilariously bad. But this is just pure mid. In this episode, the dungeon master appears and no one really wants to go against it because it's kind of dangerous. But of course, our amazing party of main characters have some sort of plot armor and always decide to give it a shot and end up winning and living with barely any losses. I can't take it anymore. I'm gonna have to watch this until the end, isn't it? I don't even feel like writing the script anymore. Nah, I quit. But little did I know, I had to finish the video because I need the money. Fortunately, out of absolutely nowhere, while talking next to the princess, something crazy happened. Sato said a joke. But hear me out, it wasn't any joke. It was a joke with fan service! Oh my god. I did watch the remaining episodes because I don't like dropping animes when I'm almost finishing, nothing much happened. The end feels like a Roblox tycoon. You just level up, press some buttons, make things even easier, level up more, and repeat the cycle. It was definitely not worth it. Even watching in 2x speed, I felt a terrible boredom and wanted to fall asleep. I hope you liked it and see you on the 16th with my next video. Meanwhile, check my 2 other anime bingos if you haven't already. Bye!